Good morning. My name is Lorene. Welcome to Books at the Bottom of the Stairs. I've noticed that BookTube is doing things like book hauls, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on. I figured it out. So what happens in my life is that every December, a group of lady friends and we've been meeting for something like 16, 17 years. We have a little Christmas party, and one of the parts of that Christmas party is that we bring books that we've been collecting for the Christmas party, and we talk about them. We book talk, and they go on the floor. I think I take about 8 books, and other people will bring about 6 books, 3 books, that sort of thing. So we end up with about 24 books to talk about. They go on the floor, and we all kind of wander around and pick books that have caught our ear. Then we make a list as to who took what books, and we hope that they get back into the right hands, because you don't own that book, you're borrowing that book. And what we end up doing over the course of the year, when we get together on Wednesday mornings, we sort of re-exchange them, and hopefully we're all there, and if there's a book that someone else picked up and you've made note of that in your head, hopefully you're there when the book comes back and is returned to its owner, and you can say, I wanted that one. So that takes us about 6 or 7 months to get through all the books. So this little part is my stack. And I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram so the titles can be seen better. And the trick is, I actually have no idea what I picked up. I heard it, someone was describing it, and I quickly write down on a little piece of paper, English patient or something like that. And then when it comes time to pick, there can be some grabbing, and then I get it, put it in my pile, and weeks later I think, why did I pick that up? I don't remember why I picked that up. But I just trust my instincts, and then over the course of the year I read it, and I have to confess that I picked up one book, Maps of the Imagination, nonfiction. Thought I would love it, kept putting it on the pile to read, and thinking, I must return that. And then the other day I realized, my daughter said, haven't you read that yet? And I said, no, I just picked that up. She goes, I read that in my undergrad, so it's been on my pile for 6 years, and I know that the person who owns it isn't watching this video, so I will return it. It does get back to its owner. So the first one I picked up is Tanya French, The Secret Place. And this is about Detective Stephen Moran, who is in Dublin. It's a mystery. That's all I know. It's supposed to be a good read. It's supposed to be sort of a light, not too creepy, not too violent kind of a read, and it's next on my stack of things to read. I just finished Minette Walters' The Last Hours. Now, I read Minette Walters many years ago. She did detectives, I believe, and at a certain point I was getting, been there, done that with her. So I couldn't quite remember why I had given up Minette Walters, but I remembered it was a solid read, so I picked this up, and this is sort of, this is not a detective book at all. This is a 1300s bubonic plague drama, and a couple of a demesne, I guess that's what it's called, so like an estate, has figured, they think they've got the clues to not get caught up in the plague. So everybody comes across the moat, is living within a constrained area of land. Nobody's allowed to cross the moat, and so far so good. Nobody's picked up the plague, but they're running out of food. So part of the storyline is several people going off to see what they can do around getting food, and that's how we encounter the decimation of the rest of England in this area for the plague. And that part is pretty interesting too, because she draws quite a picture as to just how widespread the deaths were. So, loved this book. I think the next one's coming out, and I put it on hold at the library. So that, for sure, good read. This is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. And I don't remember why I picked it up, except that the person who owned the book said, you need to read this. And so I thought, well, you can't, when people get emphatic, you pick the book up and you read it. So I'm going to try that one. It's got a weird title, so hopefully the rest of the book is a bit weird. This is Michael Frayn, Headlong. My husband just finished reading it. He snuck it out before I could get to it. And it has to do with Martin Clay, a would-be art historian who suddenly sees opening in front of him a chance of a lifetime. Who doesn't want one of those? So he's going to perform a great public service and develop his professional reputation. Oh, make a lot of money as well. I like opportunities that present money. So, look at, it was shortlisted for the 1999 Booker Prize, Whitbread Novel Award, and the James Tate Black Memorial Prize for Fiction. So, just because you win a prize doesn't mean it's a good book, I've discovered over the time. This one came a little bit later. We've got a new member, and she wasn't part of the book exchange, so when she heard about it and saw all these books being passed around back and forth on the table, she brought an offering, and this is called The Best Laid Plans by Terry Fallis, and How to Break All the Publishing Rules and Win the Stephen Leacock Award for Humor. Stephen Leacock is a Canadian author who's long dead, and there's an award for that, humor writing, and quite often it seems to be won by white men who write for political things, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I thought I would love the Stephen Leacock Award winners, but can't say I do, so not sure about this one. Well, that's the clock again, telling it's robin time. The Places That Scare You, A Guide to Fearlessness in Difficult Times by Pema Chodron. And I love Pema Chodron. She always has something good, wise to say. I think this is a book that I'll just maybe take. I have to go to Toronto in a few weeks, so I think I might just take this with me. And it's the kind of book that you can read on the plane when you're trying to not kill the person in the seat next to you. I think that'll be a good one. And the last one that I'm really looking forward to is Kate Atkinson, Transcription. Now, I read a couple of other Kate Atkinson's books and really enjoyed them, so this I'm leaving for the last because, I want to end on a good note. So that's what our book exchange is. It's probably the only book haul I'll have over the course of the year because I usually just get a couple. No, that's a lie. I go to the library and I can pick up 10 books at a time, but that's mostly trying to catch up from 2017 and also keep on top for 2020. It can be a bit mad, that particular book haul. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope there's some books there you might like, and I'll report back on which ones I really enjoyed over the course of the year. Take care. Bye-bye.